I've accumulated quite a few pedals by now, and using them without a pedal board has become super inconvenient, because every time you have to pull out the power supply, connect the pedal, then put everything back. You get the idea. So today I'll show you how to build a versatile pedal board tailored to your needs. By the way, I'm Oleg Rivers, let's get started. I'm planning to fit 9 pedals on this board, so I choose its size accordingly. I ordered a custom sized board and added a couple of options to it, a power switch and a 4-output patch bay. Why did I do that? It allows me to connect overdrive or distortion pedals before the amp, and modulation or delay effects after the amp through the send-return loop. Plus, it just looks cleaner when the guitar cable plugs into the board instead of a pedal. The power switch is also super handy, because you don't have to reach under the board to turn it on. By the way, I ordered this board from a Ukrainian manufacturer Volcano Power, and I'm really glad that companies like this exist in our country. And just to clarify, this is not an ad. I bought everything myself at full price. Why I'm so happy? Because you can get a complete solution from them. For example, they installed the patch bay and power switch for me when I ordered this pedal board, so I don't have to figure out how to install it all by myself. I also got a bag for the pedal board that's perfectly sized to fit it. I stocked up on patch cables, got mounts for the power supply, Velcro for the pedals, and cable management clips with zip ties. Let's get to work! Step 1. Installing the power supply. For this I need to drill some holes in the board, and yet the power supply goes under the board to save space on top. So first I choose the location for the power supply and try out the mounting brackets. I remove the feet to make sure the power supply fits as snugly as possible against the board. These brackets are also from Volcano Power, so they fit my power supply perfectly. I mark the holes on the surface and start drilling. You might ask, why don't you just stick the power supply with standard Velcro? Well, let me tell you, I'm building a reliable and high quality board and don't want to worry about the power supply falling off in the middle of a gig. There are actually mounts available that don't require drilling the board, but those need to be sourced separately. One side is done, so I move to the other. I drill holes for the bolts and slightly widen the entry with the larger drill bit, so the bolt heads sit deeper. All that left is to screw in the brackets with the power supply, and the first stage is complete. What a beauty! The power supply is in place, so now I move on to step 2, placing the pedals on the board. I prepare patch cables from rock board, small mounting bases, short zip ties and 3M dual lock Velcro. So what pedals did I choose to install? Fast Face by Dunlop, Digitech Drop, Boss DD5 Delay, Nook CH3 Chorus, Pockverb Reverb, Walrus Fundamental Distortion, Crayon Overdrive by Electro Harmonics, GHS 3 Series Reverb, and the Korg Pitch Black Tuner. Overdrive pedals should always come first, followed by modulation effects, and finally time-based effects like delay and reverb. This way you'll get a clean and precise sound, as putting reverb before overdrive doesn't sound great. By the way, the chain is also commonly used with plugins. If you'd like me to go into more detail about this topic, let me know in the comments. I attach the pedals using the following method. I cut 4 pieces of Velcro to match the width of the pedal, stick 2 on the board and the other 2 onto the first set. Then I remove the backing tape and attach the pedal to them. I do the same for all the pedals, leaving enough space between them for the patch cables. Speaking of Velcro, 3M Dual Lock the kind I'm using, is probably one of the best options. The strips interlock with each other, providing a strong grip. Unlike regular Velcro, there is no soft fluffy side. Instead, you hear a distinctive click when the strips lock together, ensuring the pedal is securely attached. Finally, I move on to the last stage, cable management. I'm really glad I ordered patch box because it makes everything so much more convenient and tidy. I immediately run the cable from the tuner to the first input of the patch box and begin securing the cables. For this I use mounting bases with zip ties, which are super easy to work with. If I stick or secure something incorrectly, it's easy to fix in the zip ties, or bases can be replaced without hassle. By the way, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because there is even more cool stuff coming up. I'll announce what's next at the end of the video. Here's how some of the secured cables look so far. In my opinion, it's neat. Next I route the power cables and try to organize them as well. Everything is finally secured. All that's left is to trim the zip ties and the board is ready to rock. The backside looks like this now, and I think it's clean enough. Sure, it could be even better, but this will do just fine. The board is finally assembled. Why did I call it versatile? Because with this setup you can get any guitar tone, from indie rock to punk and from hard rock to metalcore. Let me know in the comments what you think about this build and what you would improve or change. By the way, I'm planning to swap out the crayon overdrive for a slightly bigger pedal, which is why I left some space. I'll be replacing it with this. Yes, it is the GHS, not a clone, and soon there will be a video featuring this pedal setup and sound test. The signal chain for this board starts with the tuner, then goes to the drop, the fuzz, the distortion and the overdrive, before moving to the top row with the chorus and ending with the reverb. Share your thoughts on this board and see you in the next video.